All right, welcome to this week's trade review segment. If this is your first time, welcome. In this segment, I go over how I executed my trades, why I chose to do so, and basically my process, just to give you guys some attempt at education and how I see things, and maybe hopefully you guys can learn something too. Because ultimately, the way that I do stuff is not going to be the same way that you do stuff. The way that I see things is not going to make sense to you all of the time. But when you listen to other people's, you get time in front of the screen and you work on your own process and you pick and choose what makes sense to you versus different people, different processes, different traders, etc. That is how you build your own playbook. That is how you build your own execution. So that's my goal for you in this channel. So firstly, SpaceX. I took this trade yesterday. This is an IPO, right? And I don't typically, I've been tracking this name ever since it's opened. However, I don't have 30 days worth of back data just yet. So I don't necessarily have the percentage of the time that I know the opening range, the 30-minute opening range is the ultimate high or low of the day. But what I do know is this IPO is no different than any other IPO, no matter how much hype that you get from about SpaceX and the future and AI and trading and data centers and space and Starlink and blah, 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 and Elon Musk, all this stuff, right? Yes, it's going to be a great company, I'm sure, right? But is it going to be right off the bat? No. IPOs hardly ever hold their opening IPO price. Go look at many other examples in the past. They don't. Okay. So looking at this, I did not trade any of this in here. What the setup truly was right here. When this created a lower high relative to here, and then it started to compress here. This IPO level is a very important level. There's a $150 level. Okay, that's the opening price, even though it went at 135. Okay, so basically what happened is I was watching for this 150 level to break. I wasn't able to trade the actual break of it, but I did have some time yesterday. So let's look at the 30-minute time frame, and this is what I did. This is how I execute. Firstly, this blue box here is a 3-day pivot. Okay, it's a calculation based off of the ultimate high and the low of the last 3 days and the current closing price and some other calculations within there. It doesn't really matter. But what you do not want to do is you don't want to go long if price is close and underneath this, because this tends to be resistance. You don't want to go short if price is above this and very close. You can go for an extension trade if prices are way below, and you can go long into the extension of it, or vice versa. Prices are extension to the high side, and you want to take a short down into the 3-day. That works, okay? This here, and this other white box, gray box, is the daily pivot. So this is the pivot of today. This is the pivot from yesterday. Let me go into my pivot box. Thing there. All right, good. So this was a trade setup. This blue box was up here. Okay, so yesterday what I did is after this opening price opened up in the daily pivot, it broke below and it started holding that $137.20 area. It was also below the 3-day moving pivot. So looking at the 30-minute, the setup is there. Pressure is down trend line. The 5-day is nice, smooth down. The 8-day is nice, smooth down. And so if you look on the 5-minute time frame, this is what I did. I follow the VWAP for the day. Okay, so we have the VWAP of the day here. I'm watching the lows. It broke the lows, it consolidated a little bit, and then I entered here. This is where I entered at. And then I put my stop loss above here. So it was a 1.5% stop loss. I don't think I have the actual things anymore. Either way, I entered here and then it continued lower. My first exit was here. So right here, this circle, this was a 1R. And so as soon as price hit 1R, I moved my stop to break even. So I had a full position on at break even, which was great. Then price moved down and extended. This was my 2R. So when price was down here, it moved past 2R. I actually took half off. I put an order to take half off at 2R, and then I moved the rest of my half to 1R, which is basically this 134.90 something area. Then I just let it work, and by the end of the day, I got stopped. And so it was overall in a full position. It was a 1.5R trade. Not bad, right? I'll take it. And then it continued on lower today, but I didn't touch it. So that's the basic premise, right? We look at the overall, what's going on, where's the pressure, Pressure's down. It's holding the 5. It's holding the 8. The 21 is going down. This doesn't even have the 50 MA yet. So that is how that worked. Next, Bitcoin. I'm sorry, not Bitcoin. MSTR. This was one of my top looks for this week, was a short in MSTR. I missed it yesterday simply because I'm at work, couldn't get a hold of it. And so I missed this close to the 21 EMA entry. But overall view, looking at the landscape of things, okay, this is getting hit. The 200 is down, the 50 is down, the 21 is down, the 8 and 5 are chopping around. I think my hypothesis here is this is bear flagging. The pressure is down. Okay, so we have a trend right here that it's holding, and for now. And I was waiting for basically a pullback to the 21. That was part of my plan this week. Go watch my videos for my plan, my weekly video. And so I was looking for a short here. Today I took the short. However, it did not work out fast enough. I am right in or I am right out. So that means if my trade does not work in my favor relatively right away within about 30 minutes or so, sometimes I'll give it like an hour, hour and a half. I will, if it doesn't go, it's a time stop. I get out. I get out of the way. I want my stuff to move right away, especially with how tight I have my stop losses. So what I did today, let me make sure I have the right. I think I deleted it already. Yeah, I deleted it already. That's fine. What I did today. So again, the pressure is down. 8's down, 21 is down, 50's down, everything's down. Price is below this 3-day pivot, right? And it couldn't even hit. We have a pivot on gap here. It couldn't even get back up to yesterday's pivot. And basically what I was looking for, you go on the 5-minute, you can go 32, that's fine. And anchored VWAP, you put it was chopping around. At this point in time on today, the NASDAQ was getting hit. So I actually ended up shorting here, looking for a break of the low of the day and a continuation to the downside. I ended up shorting in the freaking hole and it just ripped right against me. So this was a from failed moves comes fast moves. And originally my stop loss was above, actually it was above this bar right here. Yeah, above the high of the day at 96.61. Oh wait, no, I lied. It was above this bar here on the 30-minute. This is what it was. It was above this bar, 95.87. It never hit it, but because the stop loss was so close, and it's only, it was like 1.5%. If I go from here to here, 2.5% or so, I came close to it. Once it moved against me, I didn't like it. I was thinking maybe we were going to get some short covering because we're already down like 1.5% in the day. And so once this bar happened here, the strong push up, then a 5-minute, this started selling off and it was red down here. I moved my stop loss from here to this after this high, right, was made. And so eventually I got stopped out in this bar, and guess what? It came back down basically to my entry, just a little bit less, and it closed weak on the day. This might move back down, and if it tomorrow, it might do what I actually did. My timing was off, and I managed my risk. I did what I did. The thesis is still there, but if it was going to go against me that quickly, I didn't like it, and so I'm covering my butt here. I will be looking for this tomorrow for a potential day trade. I'll maybe swing over the weekend. It depends on how much cushion and if I can even get in. But that's basically how I did it, right? We were holding underneath the anchor VWAP from this prior low. Pressure is on shorts. It's below the 20, below the 8, below the 5, etc. So it just looks weak. It's below the 3-day pivot, and the cumulative number line score is in the negatives too. It's bearish too. So pressure is down. You go with the pressure. Qualcomm. This was a trade that I did today as well. Bigger picture here. It's been very weak. Okay, here's the consolidation. It broke the consolidation, came back and retested it. What is down? The 50 is down. The 21 is down. The 8 is down. The 5 is down. It's holding underneath the 200 EMA. Yes, I do think I was pressing here, which is, if you follow me on X, I said, hey, I'm going to take a short on Qualcomm here. I'm not going to swing it. This is going to be a cash flow trade. Why? Because it's from the past 4 days. I think I was pushing here at 10% in 4 days. It's a nice move down. And so really the better swing entry would have been up here closer to the 21. It's hard to get this stuff sometimes, especially if your time is limited. So what did I do as an intraday trade today? More of this. Firstly, where are we? We're below the 3-day pivot. We are also extended from the 5, which is why I didn't necessarily want to swing trade it either. And so we're below the 5, rather extended. We're below the 3-day. We have another pivot on gap too. So we couldn't even touch yesterday's pivot on gap. All of this pressure is down, right? So going into the 5-minute time frame here, typically I will wait for lows to break. I kind of traded within a range here. We didn't have a pulse on the day, which isn't the best setup. Yet I tried to trade with the NASDAQ with Tink as things were starting to push again, push lower. And so what I did, this was my entry here, right there in that 5-minute. And my stop loss was above the high of the day. And I was basically looking for continuation. It took a little bit for it to work. I got a little bit of move in the last like 30 minutes, but it got bought right up. I don't like it. What I just said is I like my trades to go with. I want them to move basically right away. This was on the verge of me getting time stopped out anyways. Got a little bit of move, gave most of it back. I closed out just before the market closed, and I'm not swinging it. So it was a very small gain, basically break even, nothing crazy. My next one that I'm currently in right now is LNG. Firstly, let's take a look. Let's set up the daily here. Okay. What's the overall look here? Downtrend line broken. We have a double bottom here at this $224 level. Why do I call it a double bottom? Because it actually broke the range of 245. It came out. It's trending up the 5, up the 8. The 21 is up. The 50 is up. The 200 is starting to slope up. It's holding this anchor VWAP from there. It's not really anything important now. We can set an anchor VWAP from this high to see where price is, and price is now above this high. So the average participant from this prior high is in the green. So who has the pressure on them right now? It's the shorts, right? So anything kind of like threshold is right here. Underneath this threshold, the buyers are under pressure. Above, the sellers are under pressure. So shorts are under pressure. So setting that up, okay, right here. And we're back above this all-time high here too. So what did I do? Intraday, 30-minute time frame. Where are we? Within this 3-day pivot is now above. We were within it and chopping around. The 3-day pivot was just around here. Actually, I entered right here on this circle right here, and I'm already underwater just a little bit. My entry is 259.79. I have a stop loss below the low of the day. I know that 81% of the time in this, specifically in LNG, the ultimate high or low of the day is set 81% of the time. And today, the ultimate high and low was the high and low of the opening 30-minute range. And so it's holding. Why did I get in? Number one, it was working through the 3-day pivot. It's holding the 5. It's holding the 8. It was above the anchor VWAP. Honestly, it didn't do this push down yet. It looked like it was about to break higher. And so I took my chance on the breakout. It failed. And it came back down and just chopped around for the rest of the day. Right. But also, it's above yesterday's daily pivot. And so it's holding this. I have a stop loss below yesterday's pivot, which it was holding, and below the low of the day. It's real tight at 1.17%. And all I need is 1.17% move to hit my 1R. And so with a stop loss this tight, I can hit my even if we go hit the prior high, I already have a 2R trade, 2.5R trade if that happens. But if it doesn't, I have a nice tight stop loss, and I am either right in or I'm right out. So that's kind of how I look at things. The cumulative number score of the ACD process it is above 8, so it is bullish. The 21 is up, the 50 is up, the 200 is up, the 8 is up. I think I already said that. It's holding. It was chopping in the 3-day pivot, so it looked like it was going to break out of it, but it ended doing so. This follow through, this selling day yesterday, we didn't get any follow through. Actually, you can almost argue if you're into candle chart patterns, this might be a bullish harami. To where it gaps up, sells off, can't even break the closing print, and then stays within the middle of the day. So what I'm looking for, obviously, I'm long. I'm looking for this to continue. I'm looking for it to at least tag 267.35. If not, my next target here is 269.97 to 270.86 within that range. If that breaks, then I'm looking for 275.03. You just go level by level. All right. All right. Those are my trades this week. Those are my reviews. Some losers, some winners. It's just a mix of things. Remember, win rate does not matter. Your risk reward ratio is what makes you money. So it doesn't matter about winning. It matters about making money and managing risk. Hopefully this helps. Like, subscribe, comment, leave questions down below. I'm making my FinX video tomorrow, and then my weekly preparation video will be out on Sunday. So ask, and I will do the best I can to answer it in those future videos. Otherwise, manage your risk. Take care. See you next time.